Thanks for coming.
Hello, I'm Matt Berger from the Metro. We're here for the Don Jon press conference. It's coming out from Relativity Media on September 27th. And I want to introduce, they don't really need any introduction, I'm going to introduce them anyway. We have Tony Danza, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Scarlett Johansson, and Julianne Moore. So I'm going to hog the microphone really briefly and just pester them with my own question first. First off, how did you feel, this is for everybody, but also for Joseph, but how did you feel that this film wanted to comment on youth and relationships and sex and so forth, especially in relation to some of the more kind of like classic, 80s youth films and so forth?
Yeah, well, it's a movie about how we can sometimes have unrealistic expectations of each other and how media can contribute to that. And, I personally have worked in the media, working as an actor in TV and movies my whole life, and especially in the last few years, I've been hearing it a lot where people say, oh, I wish that my life was like it was in that movie, or I wish that I had someone like you in that movie. And when I hear that, frankly, I get a little startled sometimes because real life is not as simple as it is on a screen. And I think real life is actually a lot more beautiful. And there's a lot of details and nuances that you could never possibly capture in a movie or on a TV show or in a pornography clip or in a commercial or in a pop song. And so we wanted to kind of poke fun at comparing your real life to these expectations.
What about the other people in the cast? What do you guys think of the subject? Do you have any comments on it?
No. Joseph summed it up right now.
It's just harder. It's so much easier to just push the button. It's harder. You have to actually, reciprocate. Huh? Louis De Palma used to say you got to talk to them. It's just.
Okay, comments or questions from anybody else here?
Hi, guys. Good morning.
Hello.
Joe, I have to ask you. Obviously, you wrote this film, and the bigger picture is that it is about addiction. So what was your research while you were writing this movie? Talk about how you came to be inspired to write something like this.
Well, yeah, like I was just saying, I think I was largely responding to the way that people seem to be reacting to all kinds of media. And, I thought that a story about a young man who watches too much pornography and a young woman who watches too many romantic Hollywood movies would be a good way of sort of bringing to light the way that we can all sometimes relate to all kinds of media, whether it's a pornography clip or a commercial for a hamburger. You see a woman on a screen and you reduce her to just a thing, a sex object. And that's something that I've been aware of really my whole life. My mom was always intent on making me aware of how that's a very common thing that happens in the media. My mom was very much active in the 60s and 70s and feminist movement, and she was always really keen to make my brother and me aware of this happening, and so it's always something I've thought of. Yeah, in a lot of ways it is. It's me writing a sort of comedy about a lot of the wisdom that she wanted to instill me with, and she really loves the movie actually, and that she was one of the first ones to read the script, and it's been great getting to talk with her about it.
Was it always a comedy? Oh, actually, hold on, we need to get a microphone to you. I can yell. Was it always a comedy, or was there a darker version of it?
Well, the original idea in broad strokes, I didn't know it was going to be a comedy, and I was trying to figure out how it would be. And I hadn't landed on anything that I liked until I was actually I was working on 50/50, and up there in Vancouver with Seth Rogen and his whole gang. And I really like the movies that he makes. I mean, 50/50 is sort of it's a comedy, but it's a character-based comedy. The humor comes from the characters, from the feelings, and when I was in the middle of that, I was like, oh, what if I approached this concept with this tone? And that's when it really took off in my mind, and I really started writing it.